Alright, so today we're going to be looking at Electronic Gaming Monthly. I didn't actually get these magazines when I was a kid, but I looked at them and saw them and I was like, I really want those, but I'm poor. So didn't have enough money when I was a kid to get them, but here we go. I can look through them now. This is issue number 204. On the front, we've got Zelda plus Revolution. Don't know what that means. Apparently this is the start of the Xbox 360, PS3 era. So let's go ahead and look what we've got. So we got Tomb Raider Legend to start off with. I don't think I've even seen this. I didn't know it existed, to be honest. I'm not really a Tomb Raider person. Looks cool. What do we got? Chrome Hounds. Another one. I have no idea. Didn't play through it. Looks like this is on the 360. I did have a 360 when it first came out. I think I was just starting to go to college when it came out. Yeah, I'm old. Get over it. But yeah, never really played through that. Final Fantasy 11, of course. Again, I tried playing this very briefly. I think pretty close to the start. I just didn't like the grind. I'm not a grindy RPG lover. I know a lot of people do, but it's just not me. Godfather the game, of course. So we've got Revolution, the wait is over. First look at the games and the skinny on surprising new hardware features. Twilight Princess. Okay, so this is the beginning of that era. Probably GameCube around that time. Rogue Trooper. There are a lot of advertisements. Oh my god, okay. The Got Milk era. Alright, so if anyone didn't know, this was a thing back in the day. I don't think it's a thing anymore, but they used to just put everyone with the stupid little white milk mustache and have them in advertisements that say Got Milk. And apparently Superman was one of the victims of this. So Superman Returns, it looks like. Advertisement for that. Ooh, this is kind of a nice looking ad. Rise of Nations. I think I very briefly played that on PC at RTS. This is a really cool ad though. Join the Allen Army. Forge Your Future. The Vinci Army. Rise of Legends. So it's probably like a expansions before we had DLC, or at the same time, I guess. The Crying Games. Game makers have done blood and sweat to death. They want to bring on the tears. Oh, so apparently crying in games was a big new thing at that point. Bats Club, same thing. What is this? I'm trying to see exactly what this is. See if we can get a little zoom technology going on here. I'm not sure what game this is. A Genshijin. Oh, I don't think I ever played that at all. EGM International, so it's probably Japanese games, maybe some that didn't come to the US until ad. Don't really care about that. God of War 2, so PS2 era as well. God of War 2. Wasn't a big God of War person at that time. I think I was mostly playing RPGs, and I was probably like in college as well, so games kind of went on the back burner for a bit, and still played, but a lot less during college. Rampage Total Destruction. They're trying to make Rampage a thing for the PlayStation. I don't remember playing that at all, but cool. Cool. I respect it. Ace Combat Zero. Not a big flight sim kind of person. Although I used to actually play IL-2 Stormovik a little bit, and obviously 1942, Battlefield 1942. So those were my games that I played and flew things in, not Ace Combat. Never really played any Ace Combat stuff for the most part. Not really a thing. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Oh man, I don't think... No, I did watch it. I watched it like one time, but it's been such a long time. I don't remember anything about Advent Children. I should watch that, actually. It's been so long. Field Commander. So we got Tomb Raider Legend. Whole thing about Tomb Raider. Don't trust your old TV. 5 reasons current HD TVs aren't ready for gaming prime time. Okay. So this is definitely showing your age if you remember this. There was this whole period of time where it was like switching over from CRTs, like the big fat monitors, to HD and flat screens and stuff. Good times. Not really sure what this is. Phone stuff. Mobizo. Don't think that exists anymore, but maybe I just don't know about Mobizo. Full Spectrum Warrior 10 hammers. Cool. Looks like a Xbox, PC. Didn't see this one. I don't remember seeing that at all. Steambot Chronicles. Here we go. First really cool game. Although some of the other ones are pretty cool. But Steambot Chronicles was very unique. It's like this action adventure thing where you have your Steambot and you're like upgrading it and stuff. Kind of reminds me of the feel of like a Dark Cloud 2, where you have the robot in that one and you could like upgrade it. But I think they went like all in with the Steambot non-linear gameplay. Let's take a look in at this a little bit more. If Hayao Miyazaki created a sandbox-style game, it would probably look a lot like this. Hardcore Gamer Magazine. Fair. Non-linear gameplay. Exciting mecha action. But yeah, it's a really cool game. Apparently there's pool in it too, so if you want to play pool. Earn money playing music. Play different instruments on busy street corners and in nightclubs. Was that a thing? I don't remember that being a thing, but maybe it was. I don't think I played a lot of this game, but it always seemed really cool. I'd like to give it a shot sometime. All right. The Da Vinci Code. The Da Vinci Code was huge at that time period. I do remember that. Everyone was pushing that book and like putting it in all different forms, and obviously they made a game for it too. Final Fantasy 12. That was the big one at that time. I remember they just kind of like started with doing the whole thing where Final Fantasy was like pushing into different territory. Final Fantasy X was obviously a lot different than the previous Final Fantasy before that. 1 through 9, kind of similar formats, turn-based, you know, the world maps. FF10 was like a lot more linear, but it still had like the exploration points where you could like go to towns. It wasn't like Final Fantasy 13 would eventually be, where you were for a long period of time you weren't really exploring at all. Final Fantasy 12 was like in this in-between era, I guess. Different combat system. It had like the gambit system where you would give your allies these orders before you go into combat, and then you would take control of one character. I can't remember if you can swap between characters or not. I think you can. But yeah, I played a good portion of Final Fantasy 12, but I don't think I ever actually got to the end. I always do that, where I like get really far into the game, maybe even at the final boss, and then I just don't finish it. FF12. Good game though. Really good game. Get extreme. Right guard. Exactly what we need. Deodorant. Remember, use deodorant, kids. Adults. Everybody. The city needs a savior. Urban chaos riot response. I don't remember that at all. This looks like Warcraft, something Warcraft related. Nights into Dreams character there for some reason. The rumor mill. Let's see what the rumors were at this time. Take a closer look at that. we can pull this in. Having trouble here. Driving down a new road. A lot of series that receive annual updates. EA's Need for Speed franchise. Been able... Smartass remark about the possibility of a Night sequel. Sega's working on a follow-up to the Saturn cult classic. So that was the rumor mill at the time. There might be a Nights into Dreams sequel. We're all waiting with bated breath. Expect a full-blown Oblivion expansion pack sometime this fall with tons of additional quests. And that did happen. That was probably Shivering Isles. Could have been Knights of the Nine, but either way. Oblivion had some really good expansions. If you haven't played the Oblivion remaster, I would definitely recommend checking that out. It's actually really good. They did a good job, although it kind of runs... your mileage may vary. It doesn't always run particularly well on people's setups, apparently. Alright, what do we got here? Newegg, of course. Of course. I used to use Newegg. iBuyPower, they're still around. The official game, X. The X-Men game. Don't remember much about this. Guess it just wasn't my thing. I like the X-Men, but yeah, more of an RPG kind of. Xbox 360 versus PlayStation 3. So this is when the console wars were in full swing.
Buy a mini fridge for college, get a free ice tray. Or buy a PC for college, get a free Xbox 360. Buy a Windows 7 PC, get a free Xbox 360.
And Xbox 360 was coming out. Xbox had done okay, but it hadn't done that well. It wasn't like exploding massively or anything. What was really pushing it was Halo. Halo was friggin' huge. So Xbox did pretty well, but I think Xbox 360 was when they were like really competing and maybe even overtaking PlayStation. The PS3 era was like not as great. Things didn't go as well for PlayStation during that time. So I think 360 was getting like a ton of good games. I remember actually that's the one I bought. I didn't buy a PS3 until much later. I had a Oblivion on Xbox and what else? I think Infinite Undiscovery and all of these. Tales of Vesperia. Crackdown. Don't really care about that. Not a football guy either. Just Cuz. First Just Cuz. Wow, that looks rough. I don't remember too much about what Just Cuz looks like. So seeing it, it looks pretty rough. It definitely looks 2006 era. I will say that. Phantasy Star Universe. Don't really have too much to say about it. I'm a big Phantasy Star person, but I'm like a Phantasy Star 1 through 4 person. And more like 4. Phantasy Star 4 is a great game. Highly recommend checking that out if you haven't. Bomberman Act 0. Was that the weird Bomberman offshoot that it was like this realistic looking thing instead of old Bomberman? That was a weird one. Viva Pinata. Heck yeah. Have they made a sequel to Viva Pinata? Don't think they have. It's a mistake. Virtua Fighter 5, Untold Legends, Fatal Inertia. Not big fighting game player, but fighting game watcher. I definitely love watching Street Fighter and Tekken and all of these games. They have really cool scenes in the FGC. Mercenaries, World in Flames. Didn't really know too much about that. Civil War, Marvel Comics event. I think back then, was that I think this might have been before Marvel really blew up and the whole Marvel Avengers thing got really huge. So we had no idea back then. Pretty sure 2006, somewhere around there. Yeah, I don't think that was a thing yet. Or it was just starting. Brain foggy. Too old to remember. Brother in Arms, Medal of Arms, or Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor was actually really big back then. It was like, I feel like it was pretty close with Call of Duty for a long time, but man, Medal of Honor fell off very hard. EA Games, so EA went full in on Battlefield, I guess, and just kind of dropped Medal of Honor. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Ultimate Alliance, I've heard so many things about how people say it's like really cool, very fun. I never played it. That's another one I gotta like go back and give a shot, I think. The 1UP show. 1UP was a good website from everything I heard. I was more of a GameSpot person at that time, which is funny because GameSpot is kind of rough at this point. I haven't gone to GameSpot in probably like 10 years at this point, but back then I think I was into GameSpot. Wasn't really a 1UP person. Okay, beginning of the Wii era, looks like. 2006, wow. I didn't think the Wii was out at that point. Maybe it was. File front. It's so weird seeing these ads sometimes where there's just like download websites in the magazine. Oh, what is this? Hold up. Obscure prehistoric hits. Kid Icarus. Obscure? I don't think Kid Icarus was very obscure. Soul Blazer, a little bit more obscure. I love Soul Blazer. That's one of the games that I loved from the Super Nintendo. Top-down action RPG sort of thing. Had this really cool mechanic where you would kill the monsters and then kill their lairs, and then you'd like step on this shiny circle and it would unlock characters in your town or like different areas of the town, stuff like that. It's a very cool mechanic. Landstalker. Didn't play Landstalker really. Another one of those. We gotta go back at some point, but there's so many games coming out, it's kind of hard to go back. Revolutionary Link. Okay, this is the cover story. It's got the Legend of Zelda. Will the last great GameCube game be the revolutions first? So I guess they're touting it as like a revolution in Zelda. Twilight Princess. Was it really that different? Trying to think. It was like an echo of Ocarina of Time, I feel like. It's like they're trying to do this mature Link sort of thing. So I guess that's kind of where the revolution comes in, where they're trying to make a more mature character and like it's Link, but it's darker and edgier. But it wasn't really that different. Great game though. I love Twilight Princess. It's very cool mechanics with the swapping from beast mode to Link mode. Isn't the type of game that can be a 100 on a scale of 1 to 100. It has to be a 120. For sure. Wind also wakes on DS. Wind Waker at the same time? Wait, did Twilight Princess come out after Wind Waker? Maybe it was Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and then Skyward Sword. Might have been that. Rogues Gallery. So this is like the villains or whatever. E3, rip E3. E3 used to be the big thing, and now we just got Summer Game Fest and all of those, which is really not that different. I mean, E3 was a cool thing because you'd get to see like a side of the industry that you wouldn't before. And there were some like cool insider things that you could watch on different websites, like GameSpot and IGN always had their big things. And now those have kind of changed. A lot of that has just changed and kind of gone mostly online, which, I don't know, has its pluses and minuses. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. 10 out of 7, or 10-7. Good? Is this where they're reviewing it? Okay, here we go. 9.5, 9, and 9. So they all loved Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I also loved it a lot. I remember trying to play Oblivion on the computer that we had back then, and it was a disaster. It was really rough. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of money back at that period of time, so trying to play it on our PC at my my family's house, not a fun time. It was like 15 FPS. It was rough. So when I got Xbox 360, I got Oblivion at the same time because I wanted to play it how you were actually supposed to play it, which still I guess wasn't the best Oblivion experience you could have. Probably PC with a really good PC would have been the best experience. Now I get an even better experience because it's all remade. Yeah, Oblivion, great game. Battlefield 2, Modern Combat. We got some sequels to some stuff. Winback 2. Just reviews. Apparently they did not like Winback 2. I don't remember much about the first Winback. Just reviews. It's kind of interesting seeing like where people fell on these games. Atelier Iris 2, 5.56 and 7. Yeah. So a lot of the US magazines this time were really harsh on Japanese RPGs, like way too harsh. And a lot of it was like really stupid things like, this game is partially in 2D. We don't like that. It must have the perfect latest graphics. And then they would give it like a 5 or a 4. And it was just very silly. Let's see what the reasons were. I feel like Atelier Iris 2 was pretty well thought of. Fast-paced story, too much backtracking and fetch questing. Isn't that the whole purpose of Atelier games? That's like what it's supposed to be. Charming and retro. I never played it, so I can't comment on that, but I'd use different words like dated and cluttered. Yeah, see, this is exactly what I was talking about. Very old school visuals. We're very upset that it's not 3D. Packed with antiquated graphics and corny dialogue. More like fan-made projects. Okay. So right about it being artificially lengthened. That's funny. It's just really funny seeing like there were so many terrible opinions at that time from US reviewers. Like I think there was even one I think maybe it was the PlayStation magazine where they were like, if it's not football, we don't care. Like, it must be football or shooters. Everything else is trash. Kingdom Hearts, first appearance of that. Pretty cool advertisement here. Not a big Kingdom Hearts guy. Not really my thing for the most part. So I didn't really get too into it. It's something about the combination of Disney and Square, just, I don't know. Field Commander, Monster Hunter Freedom, early Monster Hunter PSP. Wasn't absolutely massive like it is now. Odama, I don't remember anything about this. I don't remember seeing it at all. Brain Age, Lost Magic. Far Cry. Was this the first Far Cry? Or was it Far Cry Instincts? Predator. Huh. Xbox 360. Is that like an offshoot Far Cry game? No idea. Right, go ahead. Keep going. Ultimate Bad Game Team Championships. What do they call bad games? Champion Sega Genesis. Cyborgs Rise of the Robots. Worst video game system of all time? Come on, bro. We had Shining Force on Sega Genesis, okay? You can't call it the worst console of all time. That is just incorrect. And then they immediately say the Master System was amazing. I didn't play the Master System. I don't remember anything about it. Call of Duty 3. There's also like comics in these, especially the old like retro Japanese magazines have a lot of comics in them. So maybe maybe that's one thing that I'll do for the series is do maybe Famitsu, old Famitsu magazines, or there are a lot of different magazines. So all right, it looks like that is the end. So there it is, episode 1 finished. This is a new format that I've been thinking about trying. If anyone got to the end, thank you very much. Let me know if you enjoyed it. There are a lot of different magazines that I think would be really good for this. Some Japanese only, some older, some newer. If you have any suggestions, feel free, let me know. I usually do videos on JRPGs, Western RPGs, and story-based games, so if that sounds like something you're into, subscribe, especially if you'd like to see an episode 2. Thanks for watching.